Every once in a while, I'll observe people arguing with each other, either on social media or in the news or even in person, where at least one person tries to silence the other people in that argument that disagree with them. So a term that's been used to label this recently is cancel culture, right? Where the idea essentially is I'm right and you're wrong, and therefore you have no right to express your opinion, much less have that opinion in the first place. And although I do think it's okay for people to disagree with each other, I think you cross the line when you try to silence your opponents, the people that disagree with you. And so in this video, I want to go through a few reasons why that's a bad idea and why instead freedom of thought and freedom of speech are much better alternatives. So the first thing to watch out for is getting so emotionally invested in your opinions that you start to believe they're facts. And I can tell when somebody is emotionally invested in something when they especially start to get angry in an argument when someone disagrees with them. And to those people, I would say they need to remember the fundamental difference between a fact and an opinion. And like I said in my video on objective thinking, as much as you might be passionate and angry about something and you want to believe it's true, that doesn't just automatically make it true. And so a fact is something that can be scientifically proven, something that exists outside of your interpretation. But as soon as you start to add subjective, opinionated terms to it, you've now interpreted it, and it exists solely inside your mind. It's not something that exists outside of your interpretation. And although you are entitled to have that opinion, you're not entitled to impose it upon other people, because they're free to interpret things however they want, and it's just as valid. Their interpretation and their opinion is just as valid as yours. There's no objective standard to measure which opinion is more valid than another. And the second reason not to silence people and instead listen to them is because that's how you learn. That's how you look at the issue from a perspective that isn't yours, that's unopinionated, that's unbiased, and possibly even uncover some information that you weren't aware of to begin with. And when you're challenged on your claims, you have to support them, which means best case scenario, you can support them and you get proven right. Worst case scenario, you can't support them and you get proven wrong, but in that case, you still benefit because you've uncovered a little bit of insight into why your original opinion was wrong. You can even possibly change that opinion a little bit and take a little bit more confidence in it. And not to mention, when both sides are willing to listen to the other, that's how you solve problems and arrive at compromises and make a little bit of progress. And it's a little bit more productive than if both sides just refuse to listen to the other. In that case, it's just kind of a stalemate and nothing really gets done. And finally, you have to be mindful of the fact that you're setting a very dangerous precedent, which is that some opinions, right, some thought and some speech can be oppressed. And that might seem like a good idea when it's just the opinions that you disagree with, but because there is no objective standard upon which you can measure the validity of an opinion, it's only a matter of time before that same rule gets applied to you, before your opinions are the ones getting oppressed. So unless you're okay with being silenced, then you can't go around silencing other people. In other words, if you want to be heard, then you have to be willing to listen as well. So the next time you have an opinion about something, I invite you to look at it this way. This is just my humble opinion, but I could be wrong. And I'm always willing to have a respectful, civilized discussion with the people that disagree with me, instead of imposing my beliefs upon them or trying to silence them. And at the end of the day, if we can't agree, then I respect the fact that you're entitled to your own opinion, and we don't have to just be enemies as a result. So incidentally, let me know what your opinion is. Let me know if you disagree with me, and I'd love to hear from you. So thanks for watching. See you next time.